Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. So what I have for you guys today is a gecko tour. We're going to be taking a look at what I would consider my baby geckos. Now technically speaking, all these geckos are not babies. The smallest one I have today is 9 grams. The biggest one is 32 grams. The reason I call them babies is because these are the ones I've had since they've been little ones and I've grown them up and stuff like that. But none of them are actually really hatchlings. It's just I'm calling them that. The way this video is going to work, I'm going to have a picture on screen of them fired up with their name, their morph, and their weight, just so you guys can kind of get a visual here, and that's going to be them fired up. Now in the video form, I'm going to be just taking them out of their cage as is. They may or may not be fired up, so you guys can kind of get a little bit of a example of what they looked like fired down. But anyway, let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting out with one of my smaller geckos. And her or his name is Cherry at the moment. I might change it depending on what I see fit, but let's get him out here. So here we have my little one, Cherry. Now he or she is not fired up. I'm just trying to keep him from running. As you guys can see, I have some previous experience with the geckos today. Got a little scratched up. Now this is a baby patternless red. Right now he's brown, and in the picture fired up, he was brown too. For some reason, I've tried firing him or her up a couple times, and I can't get her to fire up. But at nighttime, when she's just in her cage alone, she fires up so red. It's unbelievable, and I'm really happy. She has some of the oil spots too, kind of the weird light black spots that aren't like Dalmatian spots, but they're still spots. You can see them better when she's fired up, and I'm sure they'll get more developed as she's bigger. She's a little bit jumpy as far as babies go, but she's still pretty good, considering the fact that she is roughly 9 grams or so. Next we have Rip Your Float, as you guys can see, appropriately named by his light brown and cream color. And this is a baby that I've decided I'm going to hold on to for a while, I think. I kind of want to grow him up. As you guys can see, when he's in the light, that nice cream color on his back and on some of his sides when he's a little bit more fired up really sticks out, and it's going to be an interesting adult. He does have quite a few Dalmatian spots, if you guys can see, without him running. But I'm pretty sure as an adult, he's going to have some really nice cream color. He might even have a little bit of a white wall. As you guys can see, he's starting to develop it right there, on this side at least. A lot of cream on him. So he's a pretty cool little boy. I'm pretty sure he's going to turn out to be a boy. He might turn out to be a female, though. And he's also roughly 9 grams, so he's one of the smaller geckos I have right now. But, you know, I thought he was going to be pretty cool. We'll just have to wait and see how this one turns out. One of my absolute favorite baby geckos right now. I purchased him from JB's Cresties, and I think that was a good move. As you guys can see, he's going to be a nice white cream tricolor when he's older. He's going to be kind of like a King 2.0, I think, or at least I hope. But he's a nice little boy. Fairly certain he's also going to be a boy, which kind of sucks, but, you know, if he was a girl, or she or he was a girl, he'd be perfect for King. They'd have some stunning little babies. But as far as babies go, he's pretty calm too. All the babies I have right now are actually fairly calm, relatively speaking. Some of the baby crested geckos are quite jumpy if you've ever experienced anything with babies. As you can see though, he's jumping from hand to hand, but as far as like being skittish and running away, he's not doing that at all. If you guys can see that nice white color coming in on his sides. He's also got the nice cream. He's not fired up all the way right now, although he is probably about half of the way there. Where you see that kind of grayish slate color, it would be black. But he's roughly 10 grams too. I'm hoping that within the next year or so, he's going to get bigger and develop his color. Obviously speaking, getting better from where he is. I mean, he's already an amazing looking gecko right now, so I'm sure he'll get better as time goes on. Now, as far as baby geckos go, we're pretty much over that. Now we are on to the juvenile geckos. These are going to be all bigger than 15 grams. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm kind of starting out as small to large as in this video. The next video I do is going to be on adults, but as you guys can see here, we have one of my favorite geckos, my patternless red Julius. Now, Julius is kind of fired up here, kind of not. As you could see in his picture, he wasn't also very fired up there, which is a little weird because normally he fires up great. And he's actually a little bit more active today than normal, which is great because sometimes he's just kind of chilling. And, you know, sometimes I do like a gecko that crawls around a little bit more. Julius doesn't like his Pangea food as much as he used to, though. He's really digging the crickets, and Lissa kind of went into that phase before she started growing a lot. So I'm hoping that he's going to start hitting kind of a growth spurt just like she did. And maybe with him being more active now too, that'll also help. But as you guys can see, if he'll stop moving, very pretty red gecko. He's not super red right here, but he is still red. You guys can kind of get the point. And actually, if we take a little look, Julius might actually be a female. I'm thinking she's going to be, it's actually a girl. I was originally thinking that he was a he, but now I'm thinking it might be a girl. I haven't really tried to sex them, the little juveniles that I've had. You know, I kind of just gave them a glance over probably a couple months ago and determined what I thought and then gave them their name. But now taking a look at her, I'm thinking this is going to be a girl actually. So that's going to be pretty nice because I'm kind of male heavy right now. And I'm hoping she stays a she. I'll have to take a closer look after this video to see what I really think. But if you guys can kind of look by her tail, she's not looking too bulgy. And this is right around the size when it gets pretty easy to tell what sex they're going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and put her away, and we'll go move on to the next gecko. Now we're moving on to some of the more sub-adults that are going to be in this video. These last three are all over 20 grams. One of them is over 30. But as you guys can see here, this is Draco. If you guys do follow my Instagram, he's kind of one of the OG geckos I had. He's well, either the second or the third gecko I ever bought. So he's getting quite large. He's about 11 months old now, I want to say, or maybe a year old now. He's probably one of my favorite looking geckos, but something that I'm probably not going to end up working with. As you guys can see, he is fired down right now. He's kind of got that weird like slate gray color kind of going on there, and I don't know, I really like when he's fired down. He is cool fired up too, don't get me wrong, but he's an interesting looking gecko when he's fired down. And it's kind of funny to watch geckos develop, or kind of cool, because as you guys can see, this side doesn't show it as much, but he has a lot of that cream, kind of like a white wall almost, developing up to his little quad stripe area. If you guys can see it on this side, if we can get him to turn. Like, when he's fired up, it's a lot more noticeable, but you can see that all right there is all just cream, and that's pretty cool. He wasn't like that when he was a baby, and it's funny looking back at his little baby pictures what he looked like. But as you guys can see, he is definitely a male by that big old ball sack right there. So he's a nice gecko too. I worked with him since he's a baby. As you can see, he's pretty chill. And I think that if you do work with your geckos from when they're young, they will be a lot more chill as adults. I feel like if you let them go long without handling them as babies, and you just wait till they're an adult, they're not going to really be that tame by the time they get there. So if you're looking for a tame gecko, make sure you get a baby and you tame them while they're young, because they'll definitely become more chill as an adult. Here we have Sunset, one of my probably new favorite geckos. He's going to be very jumpy, as you guys can see, so I'm not going to be able to hold him for very long, and I don't really want to stress him out too much because I've been taking a lot of pictures of him recently. But I'm going to try and give you guys a look. He is way fired down right here. He's so bright when he's fired up. And you know, I don't know if you would call him a super Dalmatian or not. He does have a lot more spots, if you guys can kind of see before he'll run up my arm here. It's not really a super Dalmatian, but he does have more spots than just the average Dalmatian. And him and Sunset are going to make some very cool babies, if I can not lose him right here. But he still needs to calm down. You know, I've been trying to work with him a lot, but he's making slow progress, I would say. And I got him when he was already probably about 16 grams or so, I want to say. So it's going to be a little bit harder to work with him. Like I was just saying, if they're babies, it's easier, but I'm sure I can figure something out. He's calming down a little bit right now. But as you guys could see by the picture of him, when he's fired up, he's beautiful. Probably one of my all-time favorite geckos right now. And his ribs are showing, but, you know, he's not a skinny gecko by any means, as you guys can see. You know, they've been going hard on the weight, or on the food, I mean, and they've been gaining a lot of weight. Some of these geckos, like the one I'm about to show you after this, has put on 13 grams in 2 months or something like that. Pretty crazy, but he's got a lot of those nice big black spots too. I really like that, and the orange color, very nice. I think I really like the patternless geckos too, or the ones that don't have as much pattern, like Julius or Cherry there in the beginning of the video. But once I can calm him down, he's going to be really cool. I'm and I'm really happy that I have this gecko and that I got a good deal on him. And you can see he turned out male, which is perfect. Oh, he's running up my leg here. Which is perfect because I had bought that Tangerine Dalmatian female, not knowing I'd have a male for it. But anyway, let's move on to our final gecko for today. Alright everybody, so this is the final gecko for today. This is Lissa. She is probably, if not my favorite, pretty much one of the top 3 geckos I own right now, or that I've pretty much seen for sale that I've thought about buying. This is actually my first ever crested gecko that I bought. She is almost exactly a year old. She was born in August sometime, so I would assume she's pretty close. She's not fired up right now, but as you guys can see, she is still gorgeous. Just that gray that you see on her sides turns black, like black, not like kind of dark brown, but I mean like black. She's put on a lot of weight. As you guys can see, she is getting to be a big gecko. You know, I kind of wonder where the time went with her, because I bought her as a 2.5 gram little baby from Pangea Reptiles for $50. And now I got this beautiful black and orange flame gecko. I've been trying to work with her a lot more because she's been pretty jumpy too, but actually as an adult, she's starting to calm down a little bit. Look at that face. She always sits in her cage and looks at me, and I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of weird though, because you know, you're sitting in the chair and they're just looking at you. But by far one of my favorite geckos. I'm trying not to stress her out too much. I've been taking a lot of pictures of her recently because I didn't realize how black she was getting when she fired up. I mean, you can see those geckos that get dark brown, you know, but she is like black, like black, like super dark. It's so cool. And you know, since she doesn't have that much pattern too, it's really obvious, obviously, because it's just her whole back is black. But you know, I think she's an awesome gecko. If I can tame her down and make her really tame like how Tame King is, that would be great. You know, I think might look into getting her a male. Another good thing is she turned out to be a female, but I might look into getting a female or a male of some kind to breed with her eventually. I kind of wanted to work on like a kind of flame project with like the no flame part. Like I want to make a gecko with just this nice dorsal color and no side pattern at all. Like just getting rid of that and making them all dark black. So like the orange and cream, and as you can see, she jumped on me. The orange and cream, but with no side pattern. That's what I really want to work on. She's off. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Sorry if it seemed like it was all over the place. Trying to talk while you're trying to watch a gecko and make sure they don't escape is harder than you might think. Part 2 of this video is going to be out hopefully soon. It's going to be on all my adult crested geckos. Let's see if we can get her down quick. Oof. Come on, Lissa. But it's going to be on all my adult crested geckos, so I think you guys will enjoy that. I only have 6 geckos for that video, though, but that's going to be pretty cool, and I will have a new leopard gecko video coming out very soon. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Say goodbye, Lissa, and I will see you guys in the next video.